Kanye West, we did not get the new Vultures album, but there's a pretty valid reason, man. It's one, he didn't finish it completely, but he's like me, swear to God. I always say I'm going to do something and finish it, but it doesn't come out when it's supposed to. That's usually life. But Kanye has decided that potentially he doesn't want to release the album on streaming platforms. He said this. He messaged a Kanye fan page called Yay Fanatics, shout out to them, and said this about like what's going on with, they asked what's going on with the release, blah, blah, blah. This is what Kanye said. Was talking with the team about how to release the next album. Like James Blake said, streaming devalues our music. We sell albums on Yeezy.com. I got 20 million Instagram followers. When 5% of my followers buy an album, that's 1 million albums sold. That's 300,000 more than the biggest album last year. We sold 1 million items on Yeezy.com on Super Bowl Sunday, so we know it's possible. How do you feel about us not streaming and only selling the album digitally? Well, first, Kanye, that's not how Instagram works. 5% of your followers will not do that. Let's just say that. You can never get 5% of your followers to do anything. There's people that have 100 million followers and 5% don't even like their posts. That's just not how it goes. That doesn't go any platform, by the way, not just Instagram. Look at my YouTube channel. 600-something thousand, 675,000 subscribers. Their videos are released, they only get 10,000 views. It just doesn't translate all the time. Like all those followers are not going to watch everything. Same with the podcast, same with everything that I do. Same with you, Kanye. You're a big voice. It's great, but the chances of 5% of those followers buying the album is slim to none because 20 million followers, let's just say about 5 million are inactive or people lost their accounts or those people never visit Instagram anymore, whatever the case may be. About 5 million is probably that. I'm willing to bet. I know that's a crazy number to think. Let's just say 3 million. Then you got another 5 million that probably just hate you and don't really, that's another thing about Instagram. Not everybody that's following you loves you. Some people just hate you. I have followers that just randomly hate on my shit for no reason. Like, what the fuck? I didn't do nothing to you, but they just hate what I post and share, so they just hate. So you get that. So not all the followers are their supporters. Then you get ones that aren't really active and look into Instagram and like look at you consistently. That's another thing. So there's a lot of factors into it. And not everybody's going to like the music and buy it. Just because you're Kanye doesn't mean that they're going to buy it. But here's why I like the whole independent route Kanye's going. I've always given him props for that with this run, with this Vultures run. But I don't like Kanye's commitment when it comes to releasing certain projects. Like Donda 2, I really loved as an album. But that shit only came out on his little circle thing that he had, that he released. And that's it. We never got on streaming platforms, never got a proper release for it. And I don't want that happening with this album. I don't want it to just be a Yeezy.com release where the album comes out on there and then nothing really sprouts out of it. You know, like that's a high chance of that happening. And I'm not a fan of that. And mind you, now Kanye, I think he's saying digitally downloaded though. Because he's talking about physical CDs. That's going to cost money to make. So you're going to be spending a lot more money just making the CDs than doing streaming. But, I mean, you could potentially make more money off selling the CDs. And he is offering also the price point of this CD or digital download, I don't know which one it's going to be, is $20 for it. Which I know back in the day, that was not the standard, but if you got like a digital deluxe, or like not digital deluxe, but if you got a deluxe version of an album, it's pretty much $20, sometimes $25. Most albums would average around $12, maybe $13 to $16. I remember at least from buying albums around there. That's where my price points were, where I was living. It would be rare if it got 20. If it got 20, it was like a special DVD added to it, or $25, special DVD package, whatever. And sometimes it would not be that high, even with the DVD package. I like the approach, Kanye, but, you know, how about do this? Drop it on there and then drop it on iTunes for us to buy as well and not streaming. I'll do that. I'll buy it off iTunes if the music sounds good. But Kanye, you know, I'm happy with Vultures 1. I'm pretty happy with it. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. That's not a bad rating, I think. I think that's a good album rating. So, you know, I get Kanye's trying to do new things and not having to go through different platforms. He wants consumers just to go directly to him, which is a lot harder to do. It takes a lot more. I know Kanye's Kanye, but even Kanye being Kanye, it's going to be a lot harder to do. Anything direct to consumer is hard to get people to do. It's just, I don't know why. It's a hell. Like me, I would love if I created diversementality.com and had my own videos on there, own advertisement, own everything, and everybody went there and watched, and nobody ever went on YouTube and nobody ever went on Instagram, none of these platforms, and just went straight to my website and watched all my content, that's it. I would make a lot more money, but people aren't willing to go a bunch of different platforms to just watch. Imagine if every creator did that, just had their own platform direct to consumer. That's why we got things like YouTube, Instagram, all these platforms to have everything in one place. That way, if you want to go on YouTube to my channel, you can go to somebody else's channel immediately like that. If you're on a different website, you got to type in a different website, go to that person, blah, blah, blah. So it's a lot longer of a process. But direct to consumer is a lot trickier too. There's a lot of logistics problems with that as well. But I'm all for it. I'm excited for Vultures 2. Like I said, Vultures 1 to me, I'm happy with the album pretty much. I think the most impressive thing about all this is that Kanye West is still relevant 20 years later. Mind you, it came out in 2004. It's 2024. I know we talk about Drake's run, and I know we talk about Eminem, and to be honest with you, Eminem and Jay-Z haven't really like impacted culture like that. Like if we're being honest, they haven't impacted culture that much anymore. They don't do it anymore. Dre dropped 444. People were talking about it for a little bit, moved on. Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered By, moved on. When he dropped Kamikaze, though, he did, that was something that like everybody was like, whoa, because it had a bunch of disses. And so he did impact culture in 2018. Jay-Z didn't do it in 2017. I think the last time Jay-Z like impacted culture off his album was that Magna Carta Holy Grail, and that was like in 2013. So it's been a minute since but they're always going to sell records. Eminem, Jay, they're always going to sell records, but impacting where everybody's like, yo, just stop. We're all going to listen to this. We're all going to, 444 people listened to it, but it just didn't really stick or do anything. Kanye, though, has been doing a lot of things where everybody's been watching, everybody's been joining in, everybody's been talking about it 20 years later. So Kanye needs to get his props for that. But good luck to him with this, man. He's going back and forth on this stuff. He's changing. He's saying, I'll figure out this. He's asking fans what they think. I don't mind going on iTunes and purchasing it digitally. I'm fine with that. Any artist I support, I actually do that anyways. Like Lloyd Banks will drop on streaming and on iTunes, and I'll actually buy it off iTunes just to give him direct money, direct support. I do that with a lot of artists I really like. Any artist I really, really like, I will directly. J. Cole drops an album. Kendrick dropped an album. I bought directly from there. I didn't just stream it. I feel like that's warranted. You should do that. If it's an artist you really like and you have the means to do it, obviously. Just spend the extra $13-$14, even though it's on streaming. Just support. A little extra support would be cool. So, yeah. That's it. We'll keep our eye on this and see, what happens.